Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of
Rating Arizona.
Beers, brought to you by King's Beer and Wine on Central and Thomas in downtown Phoenix, one of the greatest bottle shops and tap rooms in the valley.
In the land.
Yes.
All of the land.
All the land.
All of the land. Mark and Alec and Sarah and their team. Awesome. Awesome folks.
Yep. We are your hosts, Marcus at Brewery 602 on Instagram, and
Eric Walters from Tap That AZ podcast.
everyone knows you, Eric.
Well, I'd like to say it, though. I'd like to hear my voice. So
I know. So we have a little different format right now. We're actually doing this podcast like a podcast.
We are. Well, I was not happy with the first 4 episodes sound. And I'm kind of a sound snob. So we got these microphones.
So we're
beautiful.
fancy now, yeah.
Yeah.
So today's beer is The Shop Beer Company out of Tempe. This is Crispy. It's a 5.5% blonde lager, 10 IBUs. They put all sorts of great information on the can, which I love.
Including the art. One of the best can art breweries in the state.
It is, by far, yeah. Dave, I believe, does all their can art, and the guy's a can art genius.
He's actually on the can too, Dave. Come on, man! Like, of course you're gonna put yourself down. No, that's what I love. It's Dave, Dylan, and Jason from the shop, and yeah.
Well, I think they're also on the Neonic can, so there's a theme going on with Dave putting his face on the can.
That's true.
So
We need to get Dave on here.
that'd be great. I love Dave. So, anyways, let's crack this open.
Yeah.
And give it a fair review.
You gonna let me pour first?
Yeah.
So the shop was actually, I feel like they were episode number 8, and we're approaching 300 at this point. So much love for the shop. Those guys are great. Fight 'em was like the first beer I had of theirs. 11%. Was that triple IPA?
It's a double. Yeah, well, I think nowadays they call it like a triple IPA, I guess,
Yeah.
anything over 10%. But yeah, Dave, like I said, Dave, Dylan, and Jay at the shop are amazing people.
Yeah.
I've been lucky enough to brew beers at the shop and have beer released that we brewed at the shop.
That's right. You actually had your own rendition of a crispy.
Yeah, and I didn't even get my face on it, but my name was on it, so that was good.
Maybe it was your face on Dave's body. I don't know, maybe.
So anyways, this beer does come in a crystal clear, I would just say yellow in color, gold.
Yeah.
Very nice, tight, compact bubbles on this one. And let's get a drive-by aroma.
I have to close my eyes because I feel that opens up all my senses. One senses go down and the other ones go up. Someone told me too, you should keep your mouth open when you smell, which then I feel super awkward because then you're going. I don't know if that's the technique.
That's wonderful. So what do you get in the aroma when you this is a blonde lager, by the way. So
I definitely get the bread, like the bready aspect of it. Yeah. Which to me sometimes lagers are too much of that, right? Like I'm not a big fan of malty at all. Like, I mean, that's kind of what got me into beer, were red ales and basically red ales and ambers. But now I don't like any maltiness at all. This one though is very crispy.
Yeah. No, actually, yeah. So the aroma to me, for some reason, lagers, the yeast give off like a salty kind of a aroma.
Okay.
It's real common with lagers. And I could pick up a little bit of that saltiness, a little bit of that graininess, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Almost like a hay-like kind of thing.
Sure.
But very clean, super, super clean in the aroma.
Like I know that. So for me, wanting lagers that are like really, really crispy and not on the side of maltiness, I know right away when I smell it. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is gonna be what's up my alley.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's get a taste on it.
Cheers, buddy. Cheers to King's Beer and Wine on Central and Thomas here in Phoenix. Just what I thought it was going to be. I mean, I've never had this before, but I've had probably 60 of those.
Yeah,
last month or so.
Yeah,
just kidding.
Yeah, well, it's readily available. Shop's been distributing it now.
It's all over the place.
It's all over the place. So it's wonderful.
I even saw it on I saw it on Trader Joe's, which to me that's the pinnacle of success for me. If you make it into Trader Joe's.
Yeah, as far as the taste is concerned, I mean, the name on the can says it all. I mean, it's crisp, it's dry. You get that good like low bitterness, low bitterness, good crispy, like you said, on the can, crispy, extremely, extremely refreshing, easy to drink tailgate beer.
For sure. It's almost like, and I mean this in the best way possible, but it tastes like it's almost not a craft beer, right? Because, for years, even a Pilsner or a lager, it was still going to taste like craft beer, like too much, like just make something simple, and I think over the past couple of years, people have really been getting into that, is making some, the crispy boys have taken off, dude. Like they're the new IPA, the new hazies.
It is. And coming down and doing a good lager is very difficult to do. And then doing it consistent enough to actually distribute it is super hard.
Sure. Why is that?
Well, I mean, lagers, you can't really hide behind anything.
Right.
Low IBU, low bitterness, so there's not very much hop character to it. It's easy for those yeast to go out of whack because there's temperature control involved. Lager, which means, basically storage,
longer. Is that what it translates to?
Yeah.
I was out on a limb on that one.
It's pretty good. But yeah,
probably something I heard years ago, but like my brain was like, dude, you heard that. Like, here's the information we gave you.
Yep. So it basically, lager means to store for a long period of time. So there's a lot that can go wrong with a lager. You're not hiding behind anything.
Sure.
So to be able to do that consistently, and I've had this beer, of course, a ton of times, and I've had it from different places, even getting it from not only the shop, but from Fry's, Total Wine, so on and so forth. Still the consistent, easy drinking tailgate beer.
Absolutely, man.
So
absolutely. And it's hard. Like I would say 5 years ago, and you I think you were more involved in, you were more aware of beer and craft beer at the point, but for like 5 years ago, there wasn't much besides the big brands that you could get where you could sit by the pool and drink a bunch of them. Right. I mean, I say a bunch, like drink responsibly. Know what you can handle, right? So when I say a bunch, I say like 30 for me.
Yeah. little 30 pack here and there.
The Shop Beer Co., please start putting Crispies in 30 packs, please.
It's a fantastic beer.
It is.
I'm really glad. I mean, and actually, I don't think Crispy's really been one of their beers they've been brewing for very long either.
No,
but
just a few years. Yeah,
a few years ago is when they came out with it, and it's just taken off because of how refreshing it is. I mean, we live in Arizona where it's 150 degrees on the average. So if you can have a beer like this, man, you can drink it year round.
But it's 5.5% too, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's that's the wheelhouse.
So. Anything less, I think I know is a little too light for me, unless you're really good. Right. Some sours. I don't know. I could go on for days.
So I mean, as far as a grade is concerned, and we're doing our grading out of a 10-point scale.
Yep.
With decimals and all sorts of madness, and then we're grading it based off of the other lagers, I guess we would say.
Yep.
In the category. So, what would you think? I mean, score.
This is 9.5, man. Like this is one of the best. This is one of the best, like crushable, crispy beers that I've had, right?
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Even in comparing to like big brands, I was always a Coors drinker because of my grandfather. So I was like Coors Light, those type of Miller High Life, whatever I could afford.
Yeah.
And but this, like you said, you can definitely just go buy, and it could substitute. I was going to have some more of that, but it's fine.
Marcus is doing his job. He's working his ass off here, and I'm just drinking all the beer.
But yeah, so this one I would compare to, like you were saying, some of the big brand, beers, but a lot more flavor to it, a little bit more depth to it, and crispy. Very, very crispy.
Well, honest, and if I'm reading this right, this was canned in June 30th, that's impressive as well, right? That was canned almost 4 months ago, and it still is, still fantastic, man.
And the great thing about these lager and these blonde lagers is they can store as long as they're cold. For quite a while, because there's no hop bitterness to it, so there's no hops to fade. There's really nothing there to go away.
Interesting.
So you can actually store them, and it's in a can, so it's not going to get light struck. It's not going to get skunky. So voila.
Boom. Do you have some of those aging in your basement?
No.
You should, dude. After all that.
I don't have a basement. Attic. I'll throw some in the attic.
Yeah, family somewhere that has a basement, ship it to Missouri, wherever. Nah, man, did you give it a grade? I said 9.5.
Yeah, I think definitely in the 9s.
Okay.
I would probably say, 9.2.
All
You
right.
go 9.5.
All right.
I'd say 9.2. Fantastic beer. Dave, Dylan, Jay, you guys over there at the shop are doing a fantastic job, and we love you guys for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
Anyone ever come down to Tempe area, you have to go to the shop beer company.
Yep.
Just put it on your list.
Put it on your list for sure.
It's a destination. So anyways, let's wrap this episode up. We're going to go 9.5, 9.2. So yeah, definitely a great beer. Again, you can pick this up pretty much anywhere right now.
Crispy.
Go ahead and get in your car, drive down to Central and Thomas, and hit up King's Beer Wine, where they have all sorts of crispy.
All sorts of crispy. And others as well.
They have a big selection of the Shop Beer Company beer here. So yeah, definitely get down to King's. King's, thanks for hosting us.
Yes.
And again, this is another episode of
Rating Arizona.
Beers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.